Today, we're going to share the stories of animals rescued from the street today, both of which highlight the terrible circumstances that many animals encounter and the extraordinary efforts made by their rescuers to save them. These stories highlight the hardships, victories, and sincere appeals for assistance to help needy, defenseless animals. Would they be able to make it through the hardships that awaited them? Be sure to keep watching. First, let's talk about a family of 6 newborn kittens and their mother, Ariel. These tiny lives hang by a thread, as Ariel has recently fallen gravely ill. The rescuer noticed that Ariel struggled to eat and was rapidly losing weight despite being fed ultra-premium food, which puts her capacity to care for her kittens in danger. Her rescuers worry that she might not survive the week because she's so weak. These defenseless kittens might not be able to survive on their own without the food and care she gives them. Ariel's case is particularly heartbreaking because her sickness came at the worst possible time. While her kittens are only 10 days old, they still need her warmth and nutrition. However, Ariel's health has become so fragile that she barely has the strength to stand. Desperate to help her recover, her rescuers have given her appetite stimulants and are attempting to secure immune-boosting supplements. But the costs for these essential items add up quickly, and only a few supporters have been able to contribute so far. In addition to medical supplements, there are also urgent bills piling up for food and supplies. Daily essentials like specialised food, quality litter, and supplements for both Ariel and her kittens are becoming increasingly hard to afford. There's even a bill for the cat food, adding another burden to the already high costs of care. It's a heartbreaking reality that without financial support, Ariel and her kittens may not survive. Her rescuers are doing everything they can, but they cannot do it alone. If that wasn't enough, there is an immediate financial barrier to secure a safe place for Ariel and her kittens. To board and care for them at a clinic for just 30 days costs a huge amount of money, not to mention the necessary health checkups and vaccinations. Every bit of this care is critical. There was no option to cut costs further without compromising their lives. And with over 30 other animals already waiting for homes in the shelter, space and resources are both stretched to their limit. With the financial burden and tight schedule, it was clear the foster network is at full capacity, and unless some of the adult cats in their care find homes, there simply isn't any room for Ariel and her babies. The rescuers know that these kittens' best chance is to be adopted as soon as they are old enough. Every adoption opens up space and resources for new rescues. However, adoptions have been slow, and the clock is ticking for Ariel and her family. The rescuers are asking for help, not only to cover immediate needs like food and medical care, but also to find safe, permanent homes for these kittens when the time comes. This support could make the difference between life and death. Now, let's turn to the story of another cat recently found on the street after a tragic accident. This cat was discovered in pain and unable to move, showing clear signs of trauma. The rescuer immediately took the cat to the vet, knowing the cost would be high, but refusing to leave this poor animal in agony. The cat needed an X-ray, blood work, and FIV/FELV tests to determine the full extent of his injuries and to plan for his care. Since receiving initial pain medication, his discomfort has reduced significantly, and he finally found some relief. However, when the X-ray results came back, it was clear that the situation was more serious than hoped. When a femur fracture was revealed by the X-ray, it necessitated emergency surgery, although such a surgery was expensive but necessary to avoid discomfort and long-term incapacity. The cat might never be able to walk again without it. The rescuer was determined to give this cat the greatest shot at a normal life. So they went ahead with the surgery despite the financial pressure. He was neutered, vaccinated, and tested for FIV and FELV after the femur was reconstructed. Fortunately, the results were negative. This brave cat is now in the process of healing and will soon be fully ready for adoption. Not only did this rescuer go to great lengths to cover his immediate medical needs, but she's also preparing him for a loving, responsible home by making sure he's healthy and socialised. Alongside his sibling, who also tested negative for FIV and FELV, this cat was now 100% ready for a family who can give him the stable, loving environment he deserves. Both of these cases highlight the emotional and financial costs that come with rescuing animals in urgent situations. From feeding and sheltering vulnerable kittens to performing life-saving surgery on injured strays, each rescue is a labour of love that requires extensive support. The rescuers dedicate themselves to each animal's well-being, providing medical care, food, shelter, and love. Yet they cannot keep up without a network of support from people who care. We hope that by sharing these stories, more people will be inspired to help in any way they can. Ariel and her kittens need supplements, food, and shelter. The injured street cat has overcome incredible odds and is now in need of a forever home.
Meu Deus do céu, meu Deus do céu, meu Deus, como tão grande. Toda semana cresce mais um pouco, né? Né, Mumu? Né, Xoxô? Né, Morro? Cadê a outra famosa, Titi? Titi. E Dona Linha? A Nala focada só em uma coisa, sair. Mãe, vai ser mas é linda, né?
These rescues show that every small act of generosity can have a massive impact. Thank you for your time. If you enjoyed today's story, consider giving us a like. Tell us what you think in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.